Hi guys, how you doing? So I thought I would just do some segments and basically just talk. So today I'd like to talk about law of attraction and denial, okay, and why this always happens to you. Why does this always happen to you? Why does this happen to me? Okay, so something that I wrote a while back, which was, you are what you feel and you feel what you attract. So change how you feel to attract what you want, okay, but an action and a response. So why do you think that a lot of people always complain, or they always say, well, this always happens to me? So why does this happen to me? So when we look at denial and action and response of things, okay, it's a bit like the shopkeeper and the timekeeper. It's like if I went to the shop, okay, and I bought this, I would get a receipt, right? I would get a karmic receipt, okay? So it's consistency, but because the proof is always in the pudding, right? So when you buy it, if you don't want it, you get a receipt and you're able to actually take it back. Within law, you can actually take back a substance of what you bought, a physical object that is now manifested itself as this plate. So I've bought this plate and I need to take it back, and I've got my receipt and I'm going back to the shop in order to take it back, okay? Because I'm in search for my 1%. Something that didn't make me happy, 9, okay? And then we're searching for that never-ending feeling of what is constantly always right in front of us, okay? So I wasn't satisfied with it, so pretty much I take it back and exchange it for my money back. So I take my receipt and I change it, exchange it, okay? Also within a conversation. But if you say something, okay, you can't take that back, right? So what you say and what you do as an action and a response within time is part of law of attraction of denial, and this is why things always happen within our life that will constantly always happen. Because an action that is in the past is an action that's in the past, okay? But it's a memory that's created within the subconscious of society. It's society that makes that response happen, okay? And it's also the action that makes that happen. Past actions of memories that we hold on to that we can't take back. Something that somebody said, or that we said, or that someone that did within our past, that means past, but it's something that's happened and written to happen, so you'll never be able to actually take it back, okay? So you learn to live with it, okay, and accept, but not settle. So, excuse me, but I've done a lot of channeling today. I will tell people about that soon. But, so when we look at that, okay, when we start to look at that, you can't take back what you've done or what you've said, okay? So when we look at one energy of what I went over before, this is one energy, okay? I don't want to lose track. But if we look at this, is because your soul group clusters, your clusters of soul group people are, it's like a predatorial action and a reaction of what we sniff out. It's kind of like, if we go back to predatorial times, we can sniff out energy, okay? Because it's like, I'm attracting myself to this. Please take society and your head out of the response and the timing of what I'm talking about, because we're talking about souls, okay? Souls. Soul group lessons of energy that is felt, but it can be smelt. It's smelt by a predatory action that's going to teach you a lesson about action and response, okay? So, say for instance that you are in a shop, right? And someone's going to come in order to test your patience, okay? So it would depend on how my action and my response would be to the person when I wanted to take that back, okay? Now, because of smelling that out, it's kind of like a soul group is called in order to see how much denial we have. So when we look at this as one energy, okay, when you look in this also, because this is you, your wheel of fortune that you can't never change, because Saturn and karma is everything is always about your wheel of fortune of you. But within the world, God didn't just create you. He created himself, Lucifer, us, them, and the world and planets, all at the same time, roughly. So we'll say that it's all at the same time. Also created a clock face, and also things that are round. And each an individual soul group of person that is all in here of cogs and links of like a time clock, like a hands of a clock they all turn in different directions and they form something that goes in control or out of control. Okay, so all these individual little pieces here are all individual persons. Say your person or your soul groups of people or your jobs or all the people that are in your life now and that have been. Okay, or people that you can also meet within your soul group cluster of family. This is why there are never one soulmate. There are fucking billions of them. There are billions, and we are all interconnected on Earth. Okay, that God also created. So what is it that is actually out of control? Do you think that the world is out of control? Or do you think other people are out of control? Or do you think that it's actually you that's out of control? Okay. So the world spins constantly anyway, okay? And it goes around and around and around and around. And then people inside it also, okay? So as human beings, we start to think, well, fucking hell, everybody around me is literally out of control. Why is it that they're testing my patience? Why is it that everybody or my job or people around me seem to be out of control? Why are my patients being tested? Why are people consistent and consistency of testing my patients? It's them. It's got to be them, right? Well, it's not. It's you, okay? It's you. It's never other people that are out of control in something that's going to happen anyway within the world, because everything lives, breathes and dies, and rebirth, regeneration, you know, winter, summer, autumn, all that kind of stuff, and trees that grow, ascension, people that drive by, and things that we can't actually control within the universe of time, metaphysical law. It will happen anyway, and if everybody dies, people will just be reborn and there'll be someone else. Okay, if all the planets died, time would still go because you can't see it. Okay, so it's metaphysics of stuff that you can't control like the hands of a clock. It's not physically there. You can't just go, I just need to turn back time. Okay, so you can't do that. So you realise that this here is going to tick constantly anyway. So what happens here is generally out of control because it's one energy of us, Lucifer, everybody else in it, the great sacrifice, one energy, planets, time, divine time, everybody is out of control. Okay, so that leads to temptation. And it also leads us into denial of society, right? Because this is ego right here, is ego of society that has constantly done the same thing to teach us the wrong way of codependency. You hold your children up, your children hold you up, you have rebirth, regeneration, it's them, it's you, no it's not, codependency, fear of abandonment, falling, you know, being sacrificed, and what we went over before with that feeling of where it comes from. It's when you are reincarnated into a soul and you're, oh my God, what is that feeling? I can't be without that feeling because I was in heaven. I actually joined this light source of energy here for a time period, and then all of a sudden I'm sacrificed again into a meat suit. Okay, so my brain starts to absorb knowledge like a sponge, and I learn by the people that are going to teach me. Okay, society for a very long fucking time. Okay, a very long time. So that's where the feeling comes from of where we feel that we're going to be abandoned, because we were sacrificed over and over and over and over again. Okay, so what we start to realize then is that all these people here, so your partner and your family members, they're dealing with society here. Okay, everything that is happening around them. Okay, everything that is happening around them that they think is think, not feel, think. Society, because it's ingrained into our subconscious memory, and this is where it will come up to denial. Okay, because as humans we think that everybody else, of blaming them, is that, well, your life's not perfect, and we blame. Okay, because perfection doesn't exist. 10 goes from a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 to a 1. At any point of time, feelings, thoughts, everything, they don't last, they fade, they come, they fade, they go, feelings, thoughts, memories, everything, denial, it all comes and goes. Okay, so we actually literally think that it's everybody else. But like I said, we're all cut from the same cloth, and it is actually always about you, because law of attraction attracts it to you, but it's not, it's actually you attracting yourself to the substance of a predatorial energy that can smell A soul can smell a lesson of where it's called to action, of a soul group cluster of what it's called in a direction for you to learn something, okay? For you to learn a valuable lesson in life of karma, okay? Saturn also. Saturn, of what I went over through the last one, if people didn't watch it, is a planet and it is not a human being, okay? And you can't control it, but it can control you, okay? Because it cares for you as a human, but because it's not human, it doesn't give a fuck about your feelings. It just cares about you because that is your destiny of Wheel of Fortune. It's you. Also the world, you. Also every sacrificial lamb has their own. You. We're all cut from the same cloth. You. Never anybody else. But the main thing that always wins is society. Society of belief, structure, codependency, things that we see happening around us that are actually out of control because we are out of control. We can't control what happens around us. We can't control what people do, what people feel, what people think. And the more we do, the more we react, and the response becomes an action and a response of time of what it is that you're going to do or say within that time period. Okay? So what can happen then is, what can happen, Steve? Well, you've just slipped it into you've just slipped into a time loop. So when your partner or your person or thing, okay, starts to have this cycle that goes on in their life, job, people that are out of control. It's you, it's them, it's me, it's not, it's you. I need money, I need this. I'm inside a £10,000 car that I love, but the most important thing in it is you. You're in it to win it. You know, you won't never go any further down than what you are now, because what comes down has to go up and what goes up must come down. So you are as far down as what you can go, and we are literally in the pits of hell. So why on earth would you want to come back to hell? God knows. So you don't really have a choice when you reach the gates of hell, or you don't really have a choice, because why the fuck would you come back this time? You know. So we don't, but I will talk about that at a later date. Past life regression, right? Why the fuck would you actually be here now to decide that you ain't going to do it again? So why the fuck would you be here now? So do you think you have a choice? Well, what we do have is free will. Okay. Free will is what takes you on different paths. But why people, or ask the question, well, why? Why at the gates of heaven, or the gates of where you are actually anyway? Because it's always right in front of you. Everything, death, is right in front of you always, right? So is life. It's right in front of you. If death's right in front of you at any time, so is life. It's always right in front of you. So is your past, because you can't stop concentrating on it. People more concentrate on their past than what they do in the future, because it's a cycle, right? So you'll never be able to concentrate in one direction. So, holy shit. Try and come back to things. Try and come back to reality, Steve, for a second. So, for instance, this predatorial soul group person wants to come back in order to test your patience of wherever it is that you are. So if you're in a shop and you're the shopkeeper, someone's like, cool, I can smell out something that I need to take back, or that I need to buy, or something that I want, okay? So I need to go in and buy it. But if this shopkeeper is, say, calm, right, is calm, the shopkeeper and the timekeeper and the 1% profit, okay? But the shopkeeper is calm. But somebody comes in, and you just think on a mundane level of their person, but not soul, that they come in to buy something or bring something back or take something or whatever they're going to do. Okay. So they say something to you that annoys you. Okay. But you're thinking, well, I'm really calm. I'm actually really fine. But fucking hell, they did annoy the shit out of me once they'd gone. Right? So you think, well, I'm okay with law of attraction because I understand it. No. No. Because that's called denial. You can't see the karma on your back as well as you can't see decisions that are blindfolding you to the truth. That's why it's called denial, and what society brings back in lessons of, well, fighting, battling. It's only the ego that ever wins. It's only society that ever wins, always. So you might as well just give in. You might as well just say, fuck it, I'm out. You know, because the ego will always, well, mainly always wins, right? Who dares wins. So they've gone away now, but you think, well, I was actually really calm until this person came in. But why the hell is that? Because you have to realise that consistency is a natural feeling of someone that wants to put in the work to love. You know, love is just a feeling that was created by the darkness, you know. I believe in a thing called love. Right? So it's created by the darkness of sacrifice. So we realise that the tower is always built from sacrifice of consistency. It's built from a firm structure. 7, it aligns you with everybody of your life path. Okay, it steers you in the direction that you need to go. 7. So consistency is the proof that is in the pudding. Okay, it's like flaky, flaky pastry. People that are flaky, that are not consistent, it rises, right? It rises like a pudding. The proof is in the pudding. You rise up to be your rising sign. And then people are flaky. You know, they come in, they want something, action, response. Okay, well, I was actually calm. No, it wasn't. I was in denial. There was something that needed release. That's why I acted and responded in the way that I did. So I think it's them. You're pissing me off. Or what the fuck did you respond for? So what's winning? Society, right? Of what I've just gone through, of what's always attracted itself to you. You always attract in someone that wants to argue with you because you're aggressive. Okay, so if you're aggressive, you actually sniff out a predatorial action of someone that's going to react with you. So it's you that's attracting someone that's going to react. You know, you'll always think that it's them that's reacting the way that you don't want it because you're a child. You're growing up for ascension. So you always realise, well, someone literally just didn't say or do or anything that I wanted to do because the proof is not in the pudding. I need to find more proof. You know, so I'm going to react in a certain way that's going to make them react with me of what I want and need. Inconsistency. You know, the proof is always in the pudding of someone that can remain consistent with honesty, you know, with love, with care and affection. People can make you feel that you're not consistent. That's why your intuition will scream strongly to realise, what the fuck is this feeling of this block that I'm having? Is it you? Is it me? It's you. It's you of not being consistent because you're not compatible. You're not in alignment with someone that's in alignment with what it is that you're looking for. Because you never find what you're looking for through inconsistency of searching for that 1%. The 1%, a 9 or a 10, it goes, it comes, and it goes, okay? We always search for that 1% that is always inevitable, that's right in front of us of that opportunity of 1. You know, the universe hands itself to you because it is itself. It is itself. God created it. Us, them, you, me, Lucifer, everybody, one thing. Action, reaction, response, clusters, people, time, reality. It created it within itself. So if you're blaming another soul, you're blaming the earth. So when you start to blame the earth, like everybody does, what is it that's out of control? The earth? Or is it you? Well, if you are the earth and we are the world and we are each other, who the fuck is it that is out of control? You see what I'm saying? It's never, ever, ever anybody else but yourself. Ever. This is why you can't never blame people. through inconsistency. If they're inconsistent, that's because they're inconsistent. The proof is always proven within the pudding that grows through how much time and effort that you're going to put into being consistent. If you're flaky, well then you're flaky pastry and you're in and out of a player. You know, you don't have consistency of going forward. You have consistency of being a player and you go backwards. You know, that's why your Wheel of Fortune goes backwards. That's why karma, the Wheel of Fortune, snaps. You snap. Then you snap at other people and you think that it's them. Why is everybody out of control that are snapping at me? Because that's karma. That's how you start to learn about your own consistency, your own worth, who you really are. Who wins, the ego or you? Well, your ego is you, because your ego is the universe that you will never, ever be able to keep control of. Because you're not looking at it as that it's you that is out of control that attracts in the same person. Because you will always be in denial, always. Because that's what I'm saying. People can come into a shop and that's why they test your patience. It's a test of time, of consistency. Well, this person has come in my shop, fuck knows how many times, and consistently pissed me off. Because why? Because I am literally in denial. I am. Of course I am. I'm a human being. So why are they blaming me? Because you have something that's internally locked within you that's a block. When you're an empath, believe you me, the story that I'm going to tell people next, well, it'd be different. You know, I literally just channeled someone's deceased loved one and I was absolutely emotional through the pain that I felt through connecting with that soul. Okay, but that was not my brother, by the way. That was someone else. But, you know, the consistency of being open attracts in also that denial substance, because it comes in order to take something, but it doesn't remain consistent. It doesn't remain consistent, you know. You only deceive yourself and run from responsibility of something that it is that you can't let go of. So if someone comes in that pisses you off into the shop, it's because their soul sniffed out a predatorial action of what they're going to try to make you act or react on. You know, it's always everybody. There are billions of soulmates in life. You know, there are. They all teach us valuable lessons of how we relate with people as a relationship. It relates of resonant of your tone and who you really are as a person. You know, your tone is resonance of attracting and retracting. Who you are, what you have locked inside you. We are never satisfied with everything that we have in life, because you will never have everything. You will never constantly have everything. But if you have a situation in life that you also created within you and then you run from it, it will be you that's getting it, because you're not consistent. You know, this is why you blame someone else that is consistent with their thoughts and their feelings. Someone that is consistent with their thoughts and feelings is someone that can easily express it. Okay, and they can easily express, well, let's work on things. Let's do this. Let's do that together. Let's talk constantly. You know, let's be together constantly. How can we do this together? Let's say we can do that. And there is nothing that comes out through the moon sign. Also, Earth, Mother Earth, the moon. The moon. How you interact with one another is through your moon sign. Through your moon sign, because that's how you interact with Mother Earth, and Mother, your mother. Everybody's mother that you had through society of the wrong way. Moon sign, compatibility of everything, of how you interact with people. Okay? If your actions and reactions are inconsistency, then it's you that's inconsistent. It's you that's in denial. You're the one that can't express your feelings and thoughts. You're the one that's emotionally guarded and blocked. And it'll be you that wouldn't be able to move forward on a path forward. Because you will blame other people and saying you're too restrictive, you're too open, you're too smothering, you're too this, you're too that. No, it's you that's blocked. It's you that's guarded. It's always you that can't let things go. It's you that lets the ego and the pride of appearance govern your life. The appearance of power, the appearance of society, the appearance of what other people are going to think. What do I have to do? Where am I in life? Okay, the only thing that ever wins is denial and ego. Law of attraction. You attract yourself to a substance, and if you don't remain consistent from it, never blame yourself, people. Because when you do, you start to hate upon everybody else, which is yourself, society. It reflects out to society. The world learns as the tide turns and the time turns. You know, the tide is changing, the time is changing, society changes, the world changes, people change all the time. And we can't keep control of it because we don't like what we see, what we think, what we feel, and how others are interacting with us. You know. You always relate with people through communication because that is 8. Universal energy, 8. You react through people through honesty of what they can pick up with whether you are consistent or not. If you are argumentative, you will be argumentative and you will attract someone in that's going to argue with you all the time. And you will constantly wonder why people are arguing with you. It's because you're aggressive. You don't have a calming manner. People will constantly feel like they're walking on eggshells around you, but it's really you. It's not them. It is them, but they're attracting something to you because you're aggressive and so are they. They're teaching you a valuable lesson about aggression and about actions and responses, is the fact that if you're in something, okay, and people around your job or your world are very aggressive with you and you're very aggressive with them and you hate where you are, well then what do you need to do? Sacrifice. Sacrifice. Painful lessons in life of karma. You know, karma and the wheel of fortune is you. So it's you that needs to sacrifice things like one energy, again, sacrifice. You know, if people around you are predatorial and they keep you stuck and they don't offer you what it is that you're wanting and needing, but you're trying to keep forcing yourself to get it, to do better, but it's just not happening, it's not them that are aggressive. It's them that are telling you or showing you something that you're not listening to. You're not seeing the bigger picture. It means that you need to move away from it. Sacrifice yourself away from what you're not happy with. Okay? Becoming the change is something that I started to write a blog 5 years ago, something like that. It was becoming the change. Your perfect person or perfect partner will relate to you in every single way, and they won't hide things from you, and they will love you, and they will constantly want to talk to you, be with you, and show proper consistency. Because you will want to change with and for one another equally, freely. Because of Adam and Eve. Adam was in control, but Adam gave over control because Eve gave over control to Adam. They didn't want to fight. They didn't feel like they needed to. There was no want and need. They both loved each other equally in the Garden of Eden. Gemini, you know, the lovers. The Garden of Eden, the wish. Aquarius, the wish. Stripping back your karma and looking at yourself naked. Who am I really? What is my wish? Will I ever be able to find it? Well, death and life is always right in front of you, always the same time. You never know what you've got until it's gone, because the proof is always in the pudding. So I'll hopefully add more onto this at a later date. I thought I would talk to you guys and see where you all are. How are you? How are you? Okay. But the proof is in the pudding. I'm going to do some readings, and I'll catch you again soon. Peace.